the KMAA officials soon arrived to confirm the death of the wolf leader. Dohyuk was interrogated concerning the death of the trio of attackers. Thanks to the footage from the dash cam in his truck, he was able to back his claim of self-defense and settle the matter. Dohyuk is thinking about his encounter with the trio of attackers. He believes incidents like this will likely continue to happen, and thinks he needs to be better prepared going forward. He thinks he needs a reliable partner because the shield and armor alone will not be enough to protect himself. At his current level, he thinks a mini drone will suffice. Somewhere in the field, Dohyuk, who is now a mechanic level 5, is sitting on top of his truck and is preparing to create something. Even though he can do this at home, he figures he will work on it here in the field so he can test his creation right away. He lays out the parts that he ordered from Deus.net and is eager to start. He says it is as exciting as the first time he used the replication spell. He activates the mechanic spell and places a steel-coated block with a dimension stone inside the production orb, commenting that it will make a nice drone. He watches the mini drone production at work and is excited to see the mechanic skills from DNF come to life. About midway of the progress, he remembers he needs to add the Alvin Wands, a magic rank artifact that increases magic by 20 and can use magic missiles. He inserts them into the orb and then shortly after, the mini drone production is complete. Dohyuk looks at the new mini drones in awe, as goblins gather nearby. He sees the goblins and thinks it is the perfect time for him to test his mini drones, and he orders them to go. Even though the mini drones look like a fancy toy, it is very fast, thanks to his mechanic spell. They are highly effective against monsters that do not have the ability to fly. The mini drones lock onto the targets and activate magic missile, and they fire at all the goblins. Dohyuk is amazed at how the mini drones completely obliterated the goblins. He thinks the power of the mini drones is sufficient enough to serve as backup. He wants to start focusing on raising his mechanic level to at least 11, which is the production level for creating golems. Then, he can check that off the list of things he needs to create it later. Meanwhile, there is a video that is going viral online. The title of the video is, "Awaken Dohyuk Park Teaches 3 Guys a Lesson and Hunts Down a Field Leader." Someone recognizes him and asks if he is the guy who took care of the outbreak on Awaken Street. Others comment about his spells, that it doesn't make sense how they are so strong. Apparently, there were hidden cameras in the field that captured the events that day, and someone had obtained the hidden camera footage. A girl is excited to see how many views and subscribers she has gained, and thinks that it was a good idea to upload the hidden camera footage. She thinks she can grow her subscriber base with the videos and Dohyuk Park can gain more fame. She says it is a win-win situation for them both. At the Plum Blossom Guild office, the deputy guild master, Chunha Jang, tells Lizzie, the guild master, to take a look at a video online. Lizzie begins watching the video, and asks why and what it is about. She then realizes the person in the video is Dohyuk and asks Chunha Jang about him. He tells her she is right, that it is Dohyuk Park, and tells her that he thought it was just a normal hunting video at first. However, it was a video of Dohyuk and his skills in action. Lizzie becomes serious and stands up and says the deputy guild master's name. She tells him that she should take charge of recruiting this time. Chunha Jang is confused and asks if she meant what she just said. Lizzie asks him if he learned anything from the video. He answers her with a guess, that Dohyuk is an exceptionally strong F rank. Lizzie begins shouting at him, pointing out the fact that F rank took down a 3-member team and a field leader. Chunha Jang asks her if she doesn't think 100 billion won is too much to offer to an F rank rookie. 100 billion won was the amount Dohyuk stipulated back when he was first discovered and recruited by several guilds. Lizzie asks Chunha Jang if he had ever gone around massacring monsters when he was an F rank, and he answers her no, saying that it was out of his power. She then tells him that it was the same for her, and that she had never heard of anyone who could until now. She says if Dohyuk Park can do this as an F rank, then imagine what he could do as he levels up. He will be multiple times stronger than he is in that video, and 100 billion won will not even mean anything by then. She grabs him by his tie and tells him they don't have time to just sit around, and they need to move now. Other guilds have seen the video and are hustling and doing the same thing. They all want to quickly recruit Dohyuk, thinking that they now have a shot at becoming a top-tier guild. Dohyuk is leaving the monster carcass shop looking at his phone. He sees 700 million won, about $585,000, has been transferred to his bank account, and he thinks it doesn't seem like a big amount of money anymore. His phone rings and he sees it as Chunha John. He remembers he is the Plum Blossom Deputy Guild Master who tried to recruit him a while back. Dohyuk has his number because Chunha left his business card on his door. Dohyuk answers and the person on the line introduces herself as Lizzie, the Plum Blossom Guild Master. Dohyuk is confused because he was expecting to hear a man's voice. Lizzie tells Dohyuk that Chunha is driving now, and she wants to know where he is now because she would like to speak to him in person. Dohyuk tells her he is inside the field and he is busy, and tells her if it's not urgent, he'll have to hang up. Lizzie asks Dohyuk to wait and says she will get to the point right away since he is busy. She tells him they want him to join their guild and she mentions the 100 billion won, about $84 million, he wrote on his door last time. She tells him if his skills shown in the NeoTube video are genuine, then their Plum Blossom Guild is gladly willing to invest in him for that amount. Chunha John interrupts and asks her if she isn't going a bit overboard on the budget. She quickly covers her phone and yells at him to shut up and just drive. Dohyuk pauses to respond and says her name. Lizzie asks Dohyuk what he thinks about her offer. Instead of answering her question, Dohyuk asks her if she just said that he was in a NeoTube video. Lizzie affirms and tells him that someone named Haley So uploaded a video of him on NeoTube, and she asks if he hasn't seen it. Dohyuk says this is the first time he is hearing about it. He tells her he will have to hang up and get a hold of the situation first. Lizzie asks Dohyuk to wait and says his name multiple times, not realizing he actually hung up on her. Lizzie is looking down at her phone, flustered, when Chunha tells her he's just not for them and they should give up on him. She snaps and begins strangling him, asking him if he is out of his mind, as Chunha tries to tell her that he is driving. Dohyuk found the video in question. He watches it on his phone and does not believe the video of him taking down the trio is really online. He is angry and wants to know who the hell uploaded the video. He figures the person uploaded the video to gain subscribers. He thinks the monster hunting footage is not a big deal, however, the part that really bothers him is the footage of his encounter with the three brothers, because it can portray him as a murderer. He eventually cools down and thinks about his current situation, especially now that his skills have become known to the public. He decides to turn this situation to his advantage. Even though he did not have any plans to join a guild, until now, he realizes that he needs access to the top-level spell books and manuals that are found in the guild-managed dungeons. He begins to compose a text message on his phone, introducing himself as Dohyuk Park, and sends it to all the guilds who want to recruit him. He says that he did not upload the recent video, however, based on the footage, they can see his abilities are worth more than 100 billion won now. He says he will show them the reason why, at the Deus Market in Gangnam, today at midnight, and they should come and see for themselves if they are interested. At the Blue Star Group Tower, there is a man named Eunho Beck, who is the president of the Blue Star Group, nagging at his daughter about her appearance because he keeps telling her she needs to dress more like a lady. His daughter's name is Dewey Beck, and she is the guild master of the Blue Star Guild. She tells him to not be so old-fashioned and says she can't move freely inside a dungeon unless she wears a comfortable outfit like what she has on now. Eunho proposes a new guild uniform and shows her a picture and says it will provide more protection than the revealing clothes she is wearing now. Dewey tells him that suit has lower defense shields than her current outfit. She then tells him that they should make a move now. Her father asks if she is referring to the potential recruit. She says yes, and tells him that she was impressed by his skills in that recent video. Eunho is unsure about Dohyuk, and mentions how the KMAA looked into him before, he is just a normal spellcaster. Dewey asks her father if he knows the reason why spellcasters are not considered powerful and cost-effective among the awakened. She says it is because they cannot use a variety of skills consecutively. However, Dohyuk Park was different from other spellcasters in that NeoTube video. She says he is no ordinary awakened. Her father asks her if she thinks if such a big investment is worth it. She tells him she isn't sure, and she tells him with bright confidence that her intuition has never failed her. Her message was clearly received. He hasn't seen his daughter smile like that in a while. He thinks Dohyuk is just an F-rank rookie, however, her smile makes him want to waver. He tells her all right, and asks how much she needs for the recruiting budget and suggests 10 billion won, about $8.4 million US. She immediately answers, 200 billion won, about $168 million US, and says they will need that much to recruit Dohyuk. Manhua is stunned, but gives in and tells her that they can't waste it. Dewey jumps and hugs her father. She thanks him and tells him she loves him. It is midnight and the lights are on at the Gangnam Daeus market. The time has come for Dohyuk to show the guilds why his skills are worth more than 100 billion won. Yoon-so Lee of the KMAA introduces herself to the audience, and says she will be the moderator for the event. She tells the audience that they have planned a special auction for today and they will not be auctioning an artifact tonight. She then introduces Mr. Dohyuk Park as the man who has become a public sensation, a spellcaster awakened. Dohyuk steps out and introduces himself. He tells the audience that as they saw in the video, his skills can be performed in sequence without delay, unlike other spellcasters. A man in the audience shouts at him and asks him if he is trying to scam them because he has never seen or heard of spells cast without delay. He tells him he is dead if he is lying to them and says that the video must have been photoshopped. Dohyuk twirls his finger and activates shield and armor on the man. The men next to him observe the shield, and are shocked at how fast the spells activated. They don't think there was any delay at all. Dohyuk asks the man if he just saw what happened. He says his speed is unmatched, and asks him if he is now satisfied. The man looks back at him with nothing to say. Someone else in the audience say that it may have worked instantly because the shield is such a simple spell, and another person says that he probably can't do it with an attack spell. Dohyuk responds, he knew they would say something like that, so he came prepared. He snaps his fingers and says he will show them the other spells with his assistant Scarecrow. Someone in the audience raises their hand and it happens to be Dewey Beck, the Blue Star Guild Master. She asks if it is okay for her to help out with his demonstration. She tells him the Blue Star Guild can provide the service of a tanker who specializes in defense instead of that Scarecrow. A young woman sitting behind her stands up, as Dewey suggests she would be a better target for the demonstration.